right, so I cut off the factory mount a while back. So there is the spare tire up underneath. That's where I'm gonna leave it for now. I guess that spot seems to work out, but when you have the factory one, they rust, every one of them. So by the time you need that spare tire, most of the time you got to end up cutting it off anyway. So what I did was I have 2 straps from 2 mounting points. So it's just strapped under there. It's a lot sturdier. Well, not a lot sturdier, but it's a lot better of a system. I can just undo the straps and it'll come right down. And yeah, at some point probably get the headache rack and put it on the roof, but that probably will be after I go with the CDL. So now let's get this brake controller installed. And before I do that, I want to mention, like, you guys see this little bit of damage right here. Chances of me fixing this are probably going to be slim to none. Probably just end up painting over it because honestly, like, I don't know, kind of the battle scar of getting hit and dealing with it. I also need to redo the door. You guys can see it does sag a little bit. I don't actually know how to fix that. I do know that, you know, I can lift the door up and do this and that, but I don't know how to actually get I need to get these body panels straight. Like, this one's good up until about here. Like, down here it's perfect, up here it's not. So I want to get actually a professional in there to do that. And then you can also kind of hear that it does sag a little bit. So again, I'm not a body guy by any means, so I'll have somebody else do that. But let's oh damn, accidentally hit the door. So I want to get rid of this one here. So let's anybody wondering what this is, I don't even know. Premium. This is probably what I had. This looks like exactly what I had. Let's do some comparisons here. Mine's a Prodigy. Oh, this is Prodigy. Okay, so this is Premusa. I don't even know, but it looks okay. Good. It's not the same one, but this literally says 1 to 4 axles. So hopefully this works. I shouldn't need to do any modifications. This should just plug right in. Let's figure that out. So no need to wire this in, I don't think, because yeah, that's the same gauge and everything, so same thickness and all the other stuff. So kind of curious on how all that was wired in anyway, but I definitely I wasn't the one that put this one in, but it all works. So I plugged this one in, it's great. So now I'm just trying to figure out what screws those are, so I can put this holder in, and then this is good. So this has a little arm down here. I heard it working up front, so we'll try it with the triaxle and go from there. But it comes with new screws and whatnot. I just need to figure out what oh, okay, so boost button, manual knob, connector for wire harness, that whole yada whatever. So I just, yeah, need to get that out so that I can put the new mount in, but that sucks. All right, so there she is. Let's turn it all the way up. Look at that. I wonder, is that button? I don't know what that means. Oh, I'm gonna assume 3 as for axles. I don't know. I'm gonna assume that means 3 axle, but let's read the instructions just to verify, because I've never actually read the instructions on one of these, but they give you all of this. I might end up keeping this sheet because this has some cool stuff. So apparently that 0.0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, that's just trailer weighs over 40% more than vehicle, which in my case, yes, because the truck weighs 9 and the trailer weighs almost double that. So yeah, I would keep it on the 6.3, but also, yeah, so I need to keep this because you can also turn the brakes off when you're backing up. If you hold, I guess you can hold this button here, oh, while holding the brake pedal. So if I hit the brakes and then I hold this button for 5 seconds, I don't know if it'll do anything because I'm not hooked to a trailer, but oh, okay, so yeah, trailer brakes are turned off right now. Cool. So that would, and it'll cancel it for 3 minutes so you can back a trailer in. So that's kind of cool to know. There's electric over hydraulic mode. So I definitely want to keep this paper, and I'm going to put that in my glove box because that's necessary. This is unnecessary. A bunch of other papers that are unnecessary. Anybody want this? I don't know. I'm probably just gonna throw that in the trash, honestly, because this is only good for 2 axles, and that's not ideal for me. Yo, this thing is cool as shit, right? So important facts to remember. Number 2, the Prodigy, no, not that one. Number 3, this will hold your trailer at 20% of power setting while you are standstill with brake pedal applied for longer than 5 minutes or 5 seconds. And then it senses deceleration and generates an output that is based on deceleration, thus the term proportional braking. That's kind of neat. Brake will proportionally in reverse. It will also apply appropriate brake voltage depending on acceleration. That's kind of cool. So these I'm going to keep and yeah, go over, and then the rest I'll just be able to throw these away because I don't need this stuff. So trash. Probably throw all this in the other box so everything's blown away. All right, so I felt like today was a good day to finally like tear this out and do the work to it. So I told you guys, check engine light, check gauges light, and trans temp light I don't really need, but you know, it just happened to be in there. So I took, you guys can see back there, I have been, where is it, right here, I have a nice clean roll of tape and a razor blade. Okay, I have been doing this with absolute precision. We have the seatbelt light. I'll show you guys, see if you can see in there, very carefully I have been precision is how I'm doing it. Same with the oil pressure gauge. I did this with precision. I got rid of the 2 little nubs on there. This I'm gonna leave because that's part of the thing that spins. And then the gauge is sitting over here, which they'll probably just have Liam throw away because it looks like the end's broken anyway. But no, actually that's apparently normal, so it's fine. But I came over here and I put electrical tape over this, and then I cut it out with precision, and this is basically what it looks like. Okay, so up close, yes, you'll notice it, and like I kind of made it a little small on 2 of the edges, but then I decided let's just put this over just in case. And look at this. Ready? Now you look at that, we have a nice and covered. So basically what I'm gonna do, once I get the what is it, the Banks I-dash, that's gonna replace all 3 of these gauges and an EGT gauge. I'm gonna drill a 52mm hole right here and try to make it mount so that it's like straight at me. So I'm gonna put that in the dash here and make like a nice little bezel for it and everything, kind of like you guys can see how these are. So we'll do that, and then the Banks I-dash will be on the outside. I wanted to put it on the inside, but somebody mentioned how are you gonna hit the buttons, and yes, that's absolutely a good argument. So yes, we'll put it on the outside. But now look, now we have no check engine light, no check gauges light, no trans temp light, and no seatbelt light. Exactly what I want. This is modified, it's perfect. I'm gonna get it thrown in and everything should be good.
And throw this away.
Yeah, I don't know why you grabbed it, but yeah, you can throw that away. So let's get this whole thing back together, get everything cleaned up and whatnot, so that like there's no dirt particles on the inside. And yeah, so I want this absolutely perfect. And the reason I'm doing this is because this is a 12 valve swapped 04.5. You cannot get the check engine light out. It is physically impossible to get the check engine light out unless by somewhere I'm sure somebody can tune an ECU to do it, but in my case it's just not worth it. This is a completely mechanical truck, so this is, you might not say it's the right way to do it, but it's definitely a very clean method to doing it, and we're not going to have any issues with it. So the check gauges light and check engine light, they can do whatever they want. Now there will be always a ding when you start the engine, and the second you start to drive away, it will notice that there's no oil pressure on the gauge. My oil pressure gauge is right here, so it's always going to ding, and the check gauges light will then come on. It never comes on right away. It waits a second, and then it notices that there's no oil pressure. It'll ding like 5 or 6 times, and then it'll shut off, and that's it. So that's the only drawback to this, but it's not really a bad thing. So if that's all I got to worry about, because I'm very picky and OCD and I like shit done right, which is why this swap it kind of annoys me with the 12 valve in there, because when I did the swap, I didn't take the time to make sure everything was right. I started doing it as I was driving it. So I mentioned earlier, I will have a new engine next year, and when I pull this engine out, everything is being gone over, everything's going to have a mount, and everything's going to go in its correct areas. So with that being said, let's get this cleaned out, get all the little particles off of it, make sure that this all goes together with no dirt on the inside. That's what I want, no dirt. Now I can tell you there's a lot of people that are going to complain about this, so here's my answer to this. Bruh, it's a 3rd gen, like they all do this. Chill out. seriously, the other side's the same damn way. It's a damn 3rd gen. They all are junk. Look at this. Ready? Plunk. That's factory. Come on now. All right, just so that we know we didn't screw anything up, hold this down, turn the key on. Look at that. Everything is perfect. Right in the center. That is awesome. So, like I said, all you gotta do is hold down this and turn the key on. And you'll see like every gauge will run through its thing. Like you'll see just how accurate you got it. And then once it gets to a certain point, like coolant temp, there we go. So, neat. Let's get it fired up. Look at that. Oh, that's so nice. I should have done the same thing with the ABS, but honestly, the ABS has always worked in this, so I'm not super worried about it. Everything's green. That's so nice. So nice. Obviously, you're never gonna get it perfect. You're gonna see little things right there. That doesn't bother me really at all, but look at that. No check engine light anymore. Here, look at this. Ready? Look at that. No check engine light. Check gauges light.
No seatbelt light.
Yeah, no seatbelt light either. Look at that. Can't yell at me now. All right, so that should pretty much do it for today. We should have trailer brakes now, which maybe I'll verify or maybe I won't. I don't know yet. But we should have trailer brakes. We should have good trailer brakes, which I really won't know until I get it on the road and really test it out. But I did hear it clicking up there when we turned the trailer brakes on, so we'll get all this cleaned up. I got this mounted back where it should be. So I'm gonna go get 2 new tires here in probably next week or the week after, one or the other. But yeah, so we'll replace, these 2 are gonna get replaced with brand new ones. And then, I don't know how I want to do this. I'll probably end up keeping those 2 as spares and then ditch that one because that one's a fail for inspection. So get rid of that one, move those 2 to up here, and then put brand news on these guys. Perfect. That'll work out. So I do need to cut these studs down too because you guys can see, like, look at that. So I've been using it over here as a way to kind of like tell me, okay, so that's where it stops. So that's how deep I've been getting it on there. So maybe we'll keep it, maybe we won't. Also, I'm really thinking about getting rid of this mechanical handle here and in place for an putting like a nut socket on there. Or even, see what we could do is we could just weld this bad boy, weld a 24 on there and be done with it and just have one of those. So I'm really thinking about doing that too. This impact will more than lift this up with a load on it. So I think I might do that. So I've always hated the look of these anyway. So get rid of that, weld a socket onto it, and there you go. I do not have any plans ever on getting rid of this trailer. Just like I said, I don't really, basically I'm just gonna keep stacking them. Once this one's paid off, we'll start shooting for a next one. I've been looking at Florida loads going down and whatnot, and I do think that a boat trailer may be in the future. I wanna get a quad axle boat trailer. So I'm gonna start looking into one of them as well. I also want to get a 40-footer tandem dually, but I want my equipment as light as possible. Everything I get has to be light and strong. So I love the Kaufman trailers for this reason here. Like, I really do like the Kaufmans. Maybe someday I will get a wedge, but not to replace this one, but maybe just to have one to have it in case, like, if I ever do go get drivers or whatnot and they need trailers, I may be able to accommodate their needs. But basically that's going to be the goal, especially with the whole pandemic ruining everything. You can't get anything. So trailers are super asinine expensive. So here in a couple years, once we start building up a fleet, like, everything's got to be paid off, get my own authority, have trailers, you know, set aside for drivers that need them just to borrow as a lease agreement, and go from there until they get their own trailer. I would probably do the same thing, $250 a week to lease a trailer, which honestly, yes, it is expensive, but it is also more than fair considering a driver should easily be able to do $4 grand a week on a minimal scale. In my case, that's what I shoot for, but any of these drivers should be able to make $5-6 grand a week easily. So 250 bucks a week to just borrow a trailer, like that should work out. Like something like this trailer, realistically, if you're working at cross country and whatnot, you should easily be able to do $5 grand a week in revenue with this trailer at a minimal. So is that the only reason I don't do that is because, well, I like to be home, and my home time is what I'm focusing on. So yeah, we'll get there, but for now, patience. So other than that, and also you have grease in your hair now. Seriously, there's grease on that, and you knew that. Yes, no, that you hit the other part. You hit the spot with the grease on it. So, and just also to mention, every trailer that I will have is either going to be a pintle or a fifth wheel. So I will not deal with gooseneck trailers. I just won't. This is the setup we kind of have going on here. And I don't know why they greased the shit out of that. All that needs greased is the pin. I have a lube plate, so I gotta spray that whole lube. Oh, Liam, move. I gotta spray this whole lube plate off because they greased the shit out of it. I don't know. I'm sure you guys have also, obviously everybody knows I took at the fleet pride, like that's just obvious, but like I'm sure plenty of you guys have had good experiences with them, and I really wanted to have a good experience with them. They were super nice, but the problem is I'm just not happy with the craftsmanship that they've given me. I know Alex, Toe Piglet's taken his to fleet pride a ton of times and never had issues. But it just seems like at this point, since it's not their equipment, like I don't know if it just wasn't cared about as much or it was overlooked, but like maybe they put that one first and then realized, oh shit, that's there. I don't know what the stipulations are there. I really wish that could be higher. Like that, literally for $1,100, that bothers me. So OCD is shit, but whatever. So let's get this all cleaned up and then we will go home for the night. And I can't wait to get back out on, well, I can and I can't. Like I can't wait to go back out on Tuesday to like run this whole new setup and actually have working brakes. But I don't know. We'll see. Also, gonna try to incorporate like more breakdowns and shit into onto the road life because that's where the views are at. For some reason, you guys only give me a shitload of views if I break down. So I guess I'm gonna have to start breaking down more. It's just gonna be that. So we need to start doing some more carrier bearings. We need to start doing tire blowouts and brake failures, bearing failures. We need to start doing all that. So cross my fingers now, maybe we'll have some decent breakdowns here in the future. Does it cost me any money? No, it costs me money when I don't break down because I get a lot less views. So the views pay the bills. So whatever. You having fun over here? I think did you put the thing back? Yeah, I think you did. It was this one, right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, well, let's get out of here. All right, so the only thing that's on is the lamp out light, and that's because I have LED headlights. So if I turn my high beams on and off, it'll go out. But yeah, this is basically what it looks like. So kind of neat not seeing the oil pressure gauge. That I've always hated that gauge anyway. Like I feel like something else that actually matters could go there, because here's the oil pressure here. So I don't know, whatever. Liam wanted to see how high we could get the boost gauge. There's 35. People are always talking to me about boost lag. I don't know, tell me how you feel about this. See how quick that was? That shit was like, bam, instantaneous. Took like a second to go from like 5 pounds to 35 pounds.